Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armoury, and it's finished at Turf Moor, Burnley 0, Arsenal 1. So, second win in a row, second clean sheet in a row. I'll be honest, it was exactly sort of what I expected it to be. Very, very different from the Norwich win. It was, as they say, quote unquote, an ugly win for us today. I don't think we played badly. There are certain individuals that probably had worse games than other, particularly people that come into mind. A lot of the attacking players, apart from Odegaard. Aubameyang didn't play very well. Emile Smith-Rowe didn't play very well. Saka didn't play very well. I know you're not allowed to say that, but he didn't. Ben White had a up and down game. I mean, I saw someone say that he was awful. I wouldn't say he was awful. He was average at best. The rest of the back line were pretty good. Tomiyasu impressed again. Tierney was okay, I guess. And Gabriel was really good. And also Ramsdale. Ramsdale, for me, was my man of the match. So, in terms of how Arteta started the game, again, it was kind of a little bit shocking, to be honest, because I didn't expect him to play 4-1-4-1. I saw it as quite an attacking lineup. So he went, obviously, with Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu at right back, Gabriel and Ben White centre-backs, left back Tierney, Partey on his own in the middle of the park, then Saka, Odegaard, Emile Smith-Rowe and Pepe making up the front line and then Aubameyang up top. And I thought it was an interesting lineup to go with, because I would have probably gone with something a little bit more defensive, but it seemed as if he was trying to go for it in a way, because what Burnley normally do at home is just kick the shit out of you, and then they've got pace and marksmanship in Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood. So, yeah, that's the thing. We had chances. It's similar to Norwich. We had chances, but again, similar to games like Brentford and Chelsea in particular, we got to the final third and kind of just... I remember seeing Aubameyang just hit and hope, just struck the ball and hoped that it was gonna go or gonna beat the first man. You know, like the set pieces we took, apart from the one that we scored from, wasn't very good. In general, like I said, it was a very, very ugly win. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. I said it after the Norwich game, a win is a win is a win. Anyone that is moaning about the performance needs to get their head examined. If we'd played like this and Burnley nicked one at the end, and to be fair, towards the end of the game, we were riding our luck quite a lot. If Burnley had nicked a draw, then I'd understand any sort of outrage. But outrage after this would just be like silly, in my opinion. The only thing you could potentially say is, yeah, we can't play like that against Spurs, which is true, regardless of the fact that they're not as good as they were under Pochettino and at some points with Mourinho. Like, we can't play like that against Spurs. There's no way that we can play like that against Spurs. But I think we've got a good chance against Spurs because, as I said, they were awful against Crystal Palace. They haven't been that great against the teams that they've beaten. You know, particularly Man City, like they weren't, amazing against. They just defended very, very well, and they've still got quality in Son, even though Kane wasn't playing. I just don't really think that they're that great this season so far. There's been nothing that's impressed me. Like, I haven't really been that impressed with Tottenham since the days of Pochettino. Like, even under Mourinho, I didn't think that much of them, to be honest. Yeah, it was as I say, it was an ugly win, but a win nonetheless. And there was a point where Burnley could have got back into it. There was a penalty shout. I think Ben White made a mistake just outside of the area. It was picked up by Ashley Barnes, who was in on goal. Ramsdale came out. Clearly, from the replays, he took the ball first away from him, but Ashley Barnes toppled over Ramsdale's leg, and originally the referee Anthony Taylor gave a penalty, but it was ruled out. It was ruled out from VAR. He went to the screen to check it and saw that Ramsdale had clearly got the ball. And Ramsdale had a really, really good game. For me, he was man of the match. Like, the goal that we scored, a lot of people will probably say Odegaard. Odegaard did play well, but I'd say Ramsdale was man of the match for me. Like, he commanded his box every single time. Every time something came up to him, he dealt with it. You know, he pulled off a great save, which again was another chance that they could have equalised. But yeah, I thought he was brilliant today. But yeah, in terms of the goal, I think Saka got fouled on the outside of the area, and it was just a direct free kick from Odegaard. Beautiful shot. But yeah, that turned out to be the only goal of the game. That's the thing, like, the game wasn't pretty. It wasn't fun to watch. It was tense towards the end. In the last 20, 30 minutes, it was really tense just because Burnley were on us constantly. They were galvanised by the fact that they were not galvanised, but they were probably like spurred up. They had their tails up because they'd had that penalty struck off, and they were probably pissed off and just like full of energy trying to get at least, because they probably think they deserved a point. And in some ways you could argue they probably did, because on balance we were probably better in the first half and they were better in the second half. So you could potentially say, yeah, they deserved at least a point out of it. But at the end of the day, they didn't get it. Like, I think apart from a bit of moments here and there, Gabriel and, in terms of the mistakes, Ben White did okay to keep, and Ramsdale did enough to keep their forward line out. And as I say, Tomiyasu was really impressive as well for me. But yeah, I think we still have a problem with the attacking players at the moment. Like, Saka isn't the same player that he was last season, and that might be because of what happened during the penalty shootout in the Euro final. Who knows? It might be that he played too much football at such a young age. You know, he's feeling the pressure now because he's in the public eye and all this kind of stuff. A young lad, only 20, just, you know, starting out, that sort of thing. You know, he's wearing the number 7 shirt. Last season, at some points, he was the main man at Arsenal. He won player of the year. Maybe the pressure's getting too much for him. I don't know. You know, Emile Smith-Rowe was okay in places, but, like, you know, a little bit too weak on the ball from time to time. Pepe was really bad today for me. He got himself into some good positions, but the amount of times he loses the ball or he doesn't know where the ball is like really annoying. And that's the thing. There's a good player in there with Pepe, but I just can't. It just frustrates me. I think he's the most frustrating player that we've ever signed, because I really, really want him to do well. I want to shut up the people that keep saying,
70 million, he should be Ronaldinho or something like that, or he should be Pele.
But yeah, he's frustrating at times. And again, Aubameyang just seemed... that's the thing. I don't really know what to blame that on. I don't know whether to blame that on the formation, on the tactics, or whether... Because there will be people out there that will say... And one famous Arsenal influencer in particular will probably say, because he's not getting the service. But, like, you know, I think Odegaard did enough to create chances today, and Smith-Rowe, in fact. And we just didn't... We're just doing this thing where we're getting in and just shooting straight at the keeper. It's like, there's one thing I'll say for Arteta. Like, why are you not teaching, or why are you and your coaching staff not telling your players to bend the ball around the keeper or over the keeper? Like, yeah, it's crazy. It's frustrating. I mean, you could argue that like the win over Norwich, I think, was justified. This week, you could say we were lucky to get out there with 3 points. I'm going to hold my hands up and say that, because I think we weren't as good in the second half. We definitely tailed off in the second half. But yeah, we have the 3 points, and hopefully this goes into... And if we can put in a performance against Wimbledon on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup, hopefully that will lead us to some more, as I said in the previous video, Kangaroo Petrol into the Spurs game, because Spurs is a massive test. This is where Mikel Arteta is going to be under the most scrutiny, in a North London derby against our biggest rivals. If he fucks that up, we're going to be right back to where we were after Man City. So we just got to keep with the momentum now. We move forward, as the kids say. We move. That's all we can do at this stage. We've moved up into 12th. Yay. We're now in the mighty 12th position, but it's nice to be off the bottom, the foot of the table at least. That's all we have to do. Just keep consistent. And I think that was a big problem last season. I don't necessarily think it was all down to Arteta. I just think we were really, really inconsistent. And if we can get a run going, there's no reason why by November, December we can be up there in the Europa League places. Let's see what happens. I'm pleased that we won. As I said, it wasn't a fun watch, but I'm pleased that we won, and I'm pleased that we're going into that Wimbledon game and subsequent to that the Spurs game off of the back of 2 wins. So at least my weekend and other Arsenal fans' weekends isn't destroyed, because I was worried about this game because I know we struggle against Burnley at Turf Moor. So yeah, I was worried, but I did say that it will probably be a scrappy 1-0 or 2-1 to Arsenal. So I got that right at least. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe if you're new around here. I will be back again for the preview for the AFC Wimbledon game in the Carabao Cup. So until then, take care and stay safe.